Hi. Welcome, Dreaming of Diamond. This is our very first Brain Dump Sunday, and I'm going to kind of walk us through this process. I'm very excited about it, and I'm going to give us tools as well to make this a regular part of your protocol. You might find that you want to do it more than once a week, but I think once a week is a beautiful way to get in front of all of the things that hit you that make you feel overwhelmed or pulled away from what you truly want. So with planning, with organization, we're able to stay in alignment with what we truly want. And that's what I think is so amazing about this opportunity that we have to incorporate this every single week. So what is a brain dump? So a brain dump is just something that we're going to train ourselves to do. I watched an amazing video by Mel Robbins about how to arrest bad habits, how to rewrite and create positive triggers for positive and productive behavior. And so I think what this will do is really feed into that mentality of, okay, every single Sunday night, we're going to print our calendar sheet. I don't know if you saw me link that calendar sheet. You guys, that was shared with us at Jewels of Excellence training. So the company believes that that is a solid piece of organization tool. It's free. I signed up for whatever these emails are. And so now we constantly have access to this document. So print it out and you're going to start to time block. Okay. So the way that we're going to brain dump is it's a great way to get all of your ideas and tasks on paper. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be incorporating this weekly. And so we're going to get started on how to do it. I'm going to give you the how-to on how to do it. And my hope is that you're going to be able to leave this session knowing, doing it basically. Okay. So when you're doing this, you're going to get a pen and paper. Alternative would be if you want to do the notes on your phone. If you're one of those people that you'd rather be, making notes on your phone, I can write faster than I can type. So I'm a pen and paper girl. You're going to date it. You're going to say brain dump, October 25th. And what you're going to do is you're going to get into a moment of silence, and we will obviously be able to just take a chunk of time each Sunday to do this. Maybe you want to do it prior to Brain Dump Sunday, and you're going to do pieces of this because it may take you a little bit longer. So I'm going to give you the components of this. And hopefully you'll find your natural cadence on how you're going to attend these calls and utilize this opportunity. So you're going to write down every single thought in your head. It doesn't have to be in a particular order at this point. This is projects. This is, the next week, right? You've got your mom brain, you've got your, family member brain, you've got your, events that all these things that comprise our week. Our lives are not just plexus. Wouldn't we all be double diamonds if that were the case? That's not the case. We don't do this business because we have time. We do this business because we want time. And planning is the perfect opportunity to really just, prioritize and put action behind priorities. So this is projects, vacations, to-dos, intentions that you have. So what we know on the team. So for example, with Plexus, we know that we're starting this weight loss challenge. In your brain dump, think of people or how you're going to tackle that. Think of who you're going to reach out to. Okay. Think of where you got to take your kids this week. What time you're going to prioritize your workout. Okay. All these things, you dump it all. All right. And then, obviously, and then things you want to accomplish. As you start to do this, you might be able to find a planner, like a planner like this that you want to incorporate and have a system. So I do have a system that I'm going to just fold in this brain dumping to the system. So I envision this call in the future being the first 15 minutes we brain dump. Okay. And then we talk about maybe how Adrienne is working on something, how she's prioritizing things in her business or what's working for her. And this is going to be a way that we are just going to make each other stronger. So then what you're going to do after you make that brain dump and you make that list, you're going to categorize. Okay. And something about that sheet that I want to point you to is that on that sheet, they even suggested using different colored pens. So church is in purple, okay, or whatever the color is. Family time is in yellow, whatever the case is. But the point is, and what was taught to us is that every single thing you have to do, including showering, working out, talking on the phone if you have a regular phone date, going to lunch with your mom, these things, it all gets a color code. Okay. And for me, when I first heard that, I'm going to be honest, it felt a little itchy and controlling to me. I'm like, ooh. But, what I have found is that organization is freeing. If we can get beyond how we have to retrain ourselves. So again, you're going to categorize these different items, and this helps with better planning. Obviously, you're going to create categories. So plexus time is a certain color, whatever, you get the point. So you're going to pull out the next sheet of paper. If you don't want to use the calendar that I linked, you're going to pull out another blank piece of paper. You're going to grab your planner. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this brain dump and the different categories, right? You're going to say, okay, plan 3-day challenge, or load 3-day challenge posts, or, reach out to, or run back office numbers, whatever. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put that into your calendar. You're going to plug that in to the times that you've allocated for plexus, or, if it's a little bit more willy-nilly for you right now, and you're just like, you know what, I'm not coordinated with where my specific time blocks are, but I know what my tasks are. You get them into the calendar. Okay. And so for me, once something is accomplished, if something doesn't happen, I cross it out with my pen. If something does happen, I highlight it in yellow. And when I start to look at my planner, like if you can see the yellow, these are notes on the side, but the yellow indicates that it was completed. And so it gives my brain a sense of accomplishment. So what we're doing is we're allowing ourselves to feel positive triggers for these behaviors, so that we start to feel really good. A lot of people love the idea of crossing things off a list. They love the idea of checking the box. That's why I put things like, pick up kids on my calendar. Got to do it. They don't let me leave them there. And so it's just another thing that lets me say, okay, you did this. It's something else you can cross off. Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm going to get back to my notes. So again, then we're loading all of the brain dump items after they're categorized onto this. This is going to be way faster, like moving forward, guys. Okay. So, put the items in the calendar, but break down the larger tasks. So maybe something that you're going to do, something I know that is on Diane and Mandy and I on our agenda. Okay. Is planning the retreat. Okay. Well, we're not going to put planning the retreat on Wednesday at 2:00. Like that's not going to happen, right? It's got to be broken down. So maybe we're going to have a meeting about it on Wednesday. And then from that, we're going to say, okay, the following week on Thursday at this time, I'm going to secure this on, you know what I mean? And so you're breaking down those larger tasks. Christmas shopping, you're not doing that in an hour block. And if you are like a superhero. Okay. So whatever that looks like, and breaking it down, you're going to break down larger tasks. So going Ruby. Okay. We're not going to do that in a 1-hour block. I would love that, but we're just not going to do that. So what does that look like? Okay. We have to reverse engineer our way back from our goals. So maybe a part of your brain dump at the beginning of the month is saying, mapping out senior gold, mapping out gold. That is a smaller task that can happen the first week of that month, right? Or that next day, or whatever the case is. So putting methodology behind things is really going to be freeing. So every detail planned out will ensure success. And then we're going to add time frames. Again, that's what is super cool about that sheet. That's what I love about my planner. If you don't love the idea of a sheet and you don't want to print that out, maybe you don't have access to a planner, this planner is, you don't have access to a printer, excuse me. This planner, Mandy has it as well, is great. I love it. I think that Jody got it too. I love it because if you can see, it's got a ton of different times in there. Okay. It goes from 5 a.m. to 10:30 at night. So if you're doing something after 10:30 at night, you could put it in the note section, or you can just do it and you don't have to write it down. Like maybe you're just going to like scroll Instagram and chill for a minute. Okay. But what I love about it is that I have things that are every single week, but then I find different pockets of time. So for me, my Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are full. Like they are typically very, very full. And so Thursday is my day where I just let it be overflow. But with this new system, we're going to be able to create even more organization around those times that are typically open. So I'm hoping that this makes sense. I'm hoping that we feel like we're able to utilize this time. And so do you guys want to take like 15 minutes and do your brain dump? And then we can come back. I'll obviously stop recording. We don't have to talk about the ins and outs, but if that feels good to you, we'll check back in at like 9:30 and see, how it felt for you. So you're going to brain dump for the upcoming week and start to put it into categories. And then we can kind of talk about how it feels and what it would look like to get onto the calendar. And typically, you guys, I want this to be a 30-minute call. I don't want this to be super long unless we have a lot that's going on that we're going to have to figure out how we're going to fit it in and create the strategies around. If you did catch my live about the challenge, please go check that out and figure out how you can put into your weekly schedule a way for you to maximize that so that you are getting people into the challenge and you're utilizing it. And it's not just something that is like, oh, that's a great idea, and then falls by the wayside, because that's unfortunately when we get overwhelmed, typically we drop all our candy in the lobby and we run away and we're like, okay, this is too much. And that's not what we want. So I'm going to stop recording and I'll check back in here in just a little bit. Okay.